families. The story that you've been seeing everywhere on television, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on your phones, on your screens, on your WhatsApp groups. The story of how cough syrup has killed at least 25 children in at least 2 states in the country is a story that was broken by NDTV last week. And we have decided that we will not be letting go of it until justice is served to those 25 families. In a moment from now, I'm going to introduce you to the father of one of the children who was killed by this deadly cough syrup as part of the NDTV campaign, Cough of Death. And I'm also going to break down that story for you very clearly. On the other half of the show, remember the British Prime Minister is in town. He landed today. He will be meeting Prime Minister Modi tomorrow. We've got an extensive deep dive into what this path-breaking visit is all about, and I'm going to illustrate that completely for you on new vistas in the Indo-British relationship. Let's get started with our top story on India Matters tonight. At least 25 children aged between 5 months and 8 years in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan are dead because their parents gave them something that millions of parents do every single day across the world: give their children cough syrup. Now, I want you to look at their faces and listen to their names, because what I'm about to show you takes the cough syrup death story to a terrifying new level. Adnan Khan, 5 years old. Anas, 6 years old. Bhanu, 17 months old. Chanchalesh Yaduvanshi, 7 years old. Nityansh, 5 years old. Rishika Pipre, 5 years old. Samrat, 2 years old. Shivam Rathore, 4 years old. Tirath Raj, 2 years old. Usaid Khan, 4 years old. Vidhi Deharia, 3 years old. Vikas Yaduvanshi, 3 years old. Yojita Thakre, 2 years old. Dhani, 1.5 years old. And Sehrish, just 7 months old. There are many more whose pictures we have, but not their names. And there are many more whose names we have, but not their pictures. But there are at least 25 children who have died. Each of these is a child who will never grow up, a life cut short by something as ordinary, mundane, and trusted as cough syrup. Now, this tragedy began with a story, like I said, that NDTV first noticed and headlined last week. It has now become India's biggest health story. It's on the front pages of every newspaper in every part of the country. This NDTV campaign, Cough of Death, will not rest, and this is my personal guarantee, until there is justice, until heads roll, be it at the highest level, and until every parent can trust that what they give their child to cure a cough will not steal their life. I want to start by telling you about what this crisis is really all about and how it actually started and how NDTV ended up breaking what has become the biggest story of the year. A string of unexplained children's deaths were reported in Chhindwara district of Madhya Pradesh, India's largest state. Children with a cold were prescribed something called the Coldrif, a very common cough syrup in that particular area. These children, every single one of them, developed dark urine and chronic acute kidney issues. The deaths of those children, which took place very rapidly, have been linked to contaminated cough syrup, in this case Coldrif, but there are other brands as well. The children died within days of taking Coldrif, every one of them. At last count, 20 children are dead so far in Madhya Pradesh and 4 at last count in Rajasthan, and there are said to be an unspecified number of more children in both these states who've also had fatal consequences after being administered this cough syrup. Dangerously high diethylene glycol, or DEG, in the syrup is said to be the death. It's a controlled substance. It's not banned, but it's a controlled substance. DEG is a toxic industrial solvent. What was it doing in such high levels inside a children's cough syrup? Coldrif, for instance, which was responsible for most of these deaths, was found to contain 48% DEG, an industrial solvent, way above what is considered the safe limit. Now, the 2 states where these deaths have taken place One is Madhya Pradesh, where Coldrif cough syrup is currently banned. Then there's Nextro DS cough syrup, which is also banned. Like I said, Coldrif is the first one, Nextro DS is the second. Then in Punjab, Coldrif cough syrup is banned. In Jharkhand, Coldrif cough syrup has also been banned. And Respi Fresh cough syrup has also been banned in Jharkhand. Relief cough syrup has also been banned. So 3 cough syrup have been banned in the state of Jharkhand. Coming down south to Karnataka, bans prescribing cough syrups for kids under 2 years old. No cough syrups are to be administered for children under 2, only prescription drugs for older children. Coming to Kerala, Coldrif sales have been suspended right now. No ban yet. No drugs for kids under 12 without a doctor's written prescription. In Telangana, Relief cough syrup has been banned. Relief is spelled R-E-L-I-F-E. And Respi Fresh TR cough syrup has also been banned. Now let's name the 4 drug makers, the pharmaceutical companies making these products that are facing this scrutiny and are perhaps responsible for these deaths. Sresan Pharmaceuticals is based in Tamil Nadu, and NDTV has visited every single one of them. They are the makers of Coldrif cough syrup. Then there is Rednex Pharmaceuticals, which is based in Gujarat. It has been told to stop producing cough syrups for the moment. There's a company called Shape Pharma, also based in Gujarat, has been ordered to stop producing cough syrups at the moment. And then finally, there is Kasan Pharma, based in Jaipur in Rajasthan, where some of those deaths have taken place, where the products have completely been pulled from the market. Now, I'm going to be speaking to experts tonight on NDTV's campaign, Cough of Death. But I want to start by reminding you once again that at least 25 children are dead, viewer. 25 children whose names and faces I have just shown you and told you, because very soon we may all just forget them. Remember, they are children of parents. There can be no greater, no more devastating loss than the loss of a child, and all due to something as ordinary as cough syrup. And that's the reason why on tonight's show, I'd like to start not with the experts, but a parent, a father. Syed Sawab Ali is the father of Sehrish Fatima. She was just 7 months old. Baby Sehrish, and I'll show you pictures of her. Beautiful, adorable child. She is no more because she was administered this killer cough syrup. And he joins me tonight from Chhindwara. Syed ji, आपका स्वागत है. मैं आपका दर्द बिल्कुल समझ नहीं सकता हूँ सैयद जी, क्योंकि जो हुआ है हम उसके लिए हमारे पास बिल्कुल शब्द ही नहीं है. कुछ दिन हो गए हैं सैयद जी सहरिश को खोए हुए. क्या आप ठीक हैं? मेरा पहला सवाल, आप कैसे हैं सैयद जी?
जी सर, अभी ठीक हूँ मैं. ठीक हूँ अभी सर.
सैयद भाई बताइए, उस दिन क्या हुआ था? सहरिश 7 महीने की थी. ये कॉफ सिरप जो था, क्या हुआ था उस दिन?
सर, सहरिश को करीबन 23 तारीख की नाइट की बात है. उसको अचानक उल्टी हुई. खेल रही थी मेरे साथ मेरी बच्ची. उल्टी हुई तो मैं उसको डॉक्टर साहब के पास लेके गया. डॉक्टर पवन नंदू करके यहाँ पर भर्ती किए उसको 1 बजे करीब समथिंग. सुबह 12 बजे तक उसको बॉटले वगैरह इंजेक्शन वगैरह लगे. जब तक लड़की बेहतर थी, उसके बाद अचानक डॉक्टर साहब थे नहीं, उनके स्टाफ वहाँ पर उसको केयर कर रहे थे. जब स्टाफ केयर कर रहे थे तो उसको बताया गया कि उसको सर्दी हो गई है, कफ वगैरह जम गया है, सांस वगैरह लेने में तकलीफ हो रही. तो उन्होंने वहाँ पर मैं मुझको बुलवाया, बोले कि भाई बोले इसको सिरप वगैरह देना पड़ेगा लिखने के लिए. तो मेरे को सिरप लिख के दिए उन्होंने. उन्हीं के अस्पताल से मैंने सिरप लिया. सिरप ले आने के बाद दिया तो नर्स ने कुछ सिरप पिलाई बच्ची को. बच्ची को सिरप पिलाने के बाद अचानक उल्टी हुई बच्ची को, और उल्टी होने के बाद उसकी ऑक्सीजन लेवल गिरने लगा और धड़कनें बढ़ने लगी उसकी. अच्छा, उसके बाद 2 से 2:30 बजे के समथिंग डॉक्टर साहब आए. उन्होंने देखे बच्ची को. बच्ची को देखने के बाद बोलते हैं कि इसको तुरंत नागपुर रिफेयर करना पड़ेगा. तुरंत एम्बुलेंस बुलवाया गया. एम्बुलेंस बुला के हम तुरंत नागपुर गए. नागपुर में सोएटेक अस्पताल में एडमिट करे. वहाँ के डॉक्टरों ने पहले ही बहुत बता दिए थे कि बच्चे की हालात बहुत ज़्यादा गंभीर हो चुकी है हम लोग कोशिश कर सकते हैं, 24 घंटे का टाइम दिए थे उन्होंने, मगर उसके बाद जब आईसीयू रूम में ले गए, आईसीयू रूम में ले जाने के 15 से 20 मिनट के अंदर बच्ची की मौत हो गई।
सैयद भाई, इसके पहले सहरिश को कभी आप या अपनी पत्नी ने ये खांसी की दवाई दी थी इसके पहले?
हाँ सर, इसके पहले भी एडमिट हुई थी बच्ची, सर्दी खांसी वगैरह की दवाइयाँ वहाँ से चली हैं डॉक्टर साहब के यहाँ से, मगर मुझे इस चीज़ का याद नहीं है कि कौन सी दवाई दी है।
जब आप डॉक्टर के पास गए थे सैयद भाई, वो इस दवाई का नाम लेके प्रिस्क्राइब किया था या ऐसे ही बोला था कि ये खांसी की दवाई दिया जाए?
नहीं सर, ऐसा तो थे नहीं। वो जो सिस्टर थी उन्होंने मुझे कागज में छोटे छोटे स्लिप में लिख के दिए थे, उन्हीं के मेडिकल से लाया मैंने, और उसी सिस्टर ने उस दवाई को पिलाई थी।
इसके बाद क्या हुआ? कुछ कार्रवाई हुई? आपसे कुछ पूछताछ हुआ? डॉक्टर से कुछ पूछताछ हुआ? उसके बाद क्या हुआ सैयद भाई?
देखिए सर, डॉक्टर साहब से तो कोई मेरी पूछताछ नहीं हो पाई, क्योंकि कंडीशन इतनी ज़्यादा खराब हो चुकी थी कि मुझे भी चक्कर वगैरह आ रहे थे, और मेरी मिसेज की भी हालात बहुत खराब हो चुके थे कि हम लोग को अफरा तफरी का माहौल था। तो मेरे दोस्त भाई थे, उन्होंने बड़ी हेल्प करे मुझे, और उनके सहारे मैं नागपुर भी पहुंचा, और नागपुर में भी उन लोगों ने मेरा बड़ा ख्याल करे, वो लोगों ने।
और ये कॉफ सिरप खांसी की दवाई सैयद भाई खराब है, ये किसने आपको बताया?
सर ये तो अभी छिंदवाड़ा के जिले के अंदर बहुत माहौल चल रहा है इस चीज़ को लेके। छिंदवाड़े में काफ़ी बच्चों का इस सिरप पीने से इंतकाल हो चुका है।
और छिंदवाड़ा में जहां पे आप हैं आज सैयद भाई, कई और बच्चे वो भी नहीं नहीं रहे अब इसी के कारण। आप किसको जिम्मेदार ठहराते हैं?
देखिए सर, ये तो ऊपर वाले की मर्जी थी, जो होना था वो तो हो गया। बस मैं थोड़ा सा ये कहना चाहूंगा आपके न्यूज चैनल को कि जो डॉक्टर साहब हैं, भाई जैसे मेरी बच्ची वहाँ रात के 1 बजे एडमिट हुई, उनकी जिम्मेदारी थी, जो मेन सर्जन होते हैं उनका काम था कि सुबह आके मेरी बच्ची को वो देखें। वो आए नहीं उस वक्त पे। उनके जो हाथ के नीचे के सर्जन लोग थे, उन्होंने मेरी बच्ची का केयर करे। जब मेरी बच्ची बहुत ज्यादा सीरियस हो गई तो 2 से 2:30 बजे जो सर्जन है, मेन डॉक्टर, वो आए और आते से देखे उन्होंने, और देखने के बाद बताया कि बच्ची बहुत सीरियस हो गई है। तो मेरा उनसे यही कहना है कि अपने टाइम का ख्याल रखें, आगे दूसरे बच्चों को तकलीफ ना हो इस सब चीजों को लेके।
अगर आप
तो आपका नंबर
मुख्यमंत्री
है डॉक्टर का।
मोहन यादव को कुछ बोल सकते हैं आज सैयद भाई, तो आप उनको क्या बोलेंगे? अभी तो स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय ने काफ़ी ऑर्डर्स पास कर चुके हैं, सेंटर से, दिल्ली से, भोपाल से नोटिसेस आ चुके हैं, कार्रवाई हो रही है, जांच हो रही है। लेकिन अगर आप कुछ बोल सकते हैं मुख्यमंत्री से आज, तो आप क्या बोलेंगे सैयद भाई?
देखिए सर, वो लोग तो सब हमारी हेल्प कर रहे हैं, सभी लोग आ रहे हैं। अब मीडिया वाले भी हमारी बहुत मदद कर रहे हैं। मोहन यादव जी के साथ अभी सुबह सांसद जी आए, बड़ी।
सैयद भाई, हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत ही धन्यवाद, आपके समय के लिए धन्यवाद। ये बहुत ही मुश्किल समय है आपका, आपके लिए और आपके परिवार के लिए, और इसलिए मैं एक वादा करता हूँ एनडीटीवी की तरफ से कि हम इस ये जो क्राइसिस है कॉफ सिरप को लेकर, हम कैंपेन करेंगे और हम जस्टिस लाएंगे सहरिश फातिमा को। धन्यवाद सैयद भाई फॉर जॉइनिंग अस।
जी।
I want you to remember that number once again, viewer. The man you just saw on your screen is just one parent. There are 25 couples who've lost their children, and nobody even knows their names or their faces. And that's the reason why I wanted to hear from someone who the media will never let you hear, because after all, they are from an obscure part of the country where death is normal, life is cheap. That's what we've been trained to believe. And yet, the idea of 25 children losing their lives because of cough syrup is just so terrifying. And I wanted to get wisdom to help us understand this truly upsetting, troubling, nightmarish story from one of the finest voices in India's healthcare environment. Dr. Naresh Trihan is Chairman and Managing Director of the Medanta Group of Hospitals. Dr. Madhavi Bharadwaj is a well-known pediatrician and an allergist and an influencer as well. Dr. Trehan, I would like to start off with you. At a time like this when emotions are running high, and it is difficult to quantify the loss of 25 children, sir. Everyone is looking for someone to blame. Is it the system? Is it just the companies? Is it the regulator? Is it the local government? What would you say to someone who's looking for an immediate answer as to how something like this could have happened, Dr. Trehan?
So, Shiv, thank you for this opportunity to discuss this very grim matter, which is very upsetting, as you rightfully said, that children have lost their lives at an age where it's just devastating. There are three parts to this whole tragedy. One is the person or the company that made the syrup. Made the syrup with diethylene glycol instead of glycerine, which is normally to be added to make the syrup a little viscous so that it can be given to children without them actually aspirating it, because if it's pure liquid or very liquidy, it can cause problems. So that is the substitution that this company or the number of companies that you've talked about apparently have used in very high dosage, and it's a very toxic material to the human body. And leave alone to the human body, to the children, it is lethally toxic.
Yes.
So that is one part of it, that there has to be a check in the mind of the manufacturers that they cannot cross that line and not have any consequences. So they should have the most severest of consequences for doing what they have done. Second is the fact that the regulator must actually get all these products tested before they are given the standard so that they can be marketed. That is the second line of defense. The third is that the doctors must have given medicines or bought medicines in their dispensaries or the hospitals which are of a recognized brand, where the brand has a consequence of if something bad happens, the brand loses its whole value as a consequence. So that unless there is accountability and a consequence to what you are doing,
yes,
that greed may overtake the process, and you can do very harmful things to the public, because medicines are taken by trust, not by choice. Okay. The fourth thing is basically what the public can do. So one of the things that public should be beware of is buying medicines which are offered at a very steep discount, knowing very well that the quality may not be sustainable at those prices, but just to overcome the emotion of a person who's buying in a distressful state, to be able to buy medicines which are actually not standard medicines, not manufactured by standard companies. So these are all the things that must be put together so that the public feels safe, that what is being offered to them, whatever the price that has been approved by the regulator, that if people are giving discount on that, there is something wrong with it. So we always say, get your medicines from an established brand of pharmacy, because then they all have consequences.
Yes.
All the leading pharmaceutical companies, all the leading healthcare chains, they have a responsibility, because the process that is to be followed by all of us is quite rigorous. That we want to know the molecule, we need to know the generic manufacturer, and we also know that generic manufacturer is a responsible company which has a consequence. So if all these things are put in place, these tragedies hopefully will never happen again.
And we're wondering how it has happened at all, and how come it hasn't happened before. Did something specific happen? Dr. Bharadwaj, you've been looking at it very closely as well. We've seen some of your videos. How do you understand it? How could something like this happen Who do you blame, ma'am?
So I feel probably it is not the first time something like this has happened. Just that the social media, you media people, we are all well aware. Now the news, it travels very fast. It reaches us. Probably things like this were happening from quite some time, I feel. But the thing is, now that, like you said, we have taken up this campaign, I also try to, put it across my page that this cannot be, forgotten easily. Every child's life matters, and it is
Yes.
somebody's whole world. I am a mother too. Okay, so it cannot be left alone, or it can't be just another news. So first thing, where is the fear? How can somebody replace cough syrup? See, this is one cough syrup, right? We talk about it ki cough syrups you shouldn't give in small kids, right? But solvents are there in paracetamol also. Solvents are there in any other syrup which I might prescribe to my own kid or somebody else's kid. Where
Yeah.
is the fear in these companies, the regulators? The answer, where is the answerability? How come a very common glycerine, like sir rightly said, glycerine is supposed to be the solvent in kids syrups. Why and how could it be replaced with such a cheap solvent which can be life threatening? And we have seen 24 lives lost. So when I started following this story, I said probably I'm not yet equipped to comment on anything. I don't know what exactly happened with the child, but
Yeah.
24 kids cannot be overdosed on a cough syrup.
Yeah.
24 kids cannot be clinically too sick that they died. Okay, so
Indeed.
if we see a common cough syrup, common medicine involved, that this was given to a number of kids and they all died, it is a common sense that you have to question what was there inside. And probably initially the news was coming, they didn't find anything wrong or no poisonous substance in the cough syrup. But
Yeah.
probably the pressure that you and we together are creating, we are questioning it again and again. Now the news has come that it has DG. Earlier, it was said there is nothing found. Probably, it is an isolated case, an XYZ.
Yeah.
But again, where is the answerability, and who at the level of regulators, authorities, pharmaceutical firms? How is it so easy for you to replace something so basic?
I completely agree with you. There is a level of fearlessness, Dr. Trehan, that, if you have to boil down this entire sort of nightmare issue, and I agree with Dr. Bharadwaj, I'm sure this has happened before. Maybe we have not been aware of it. We live in a hyper-aware time right now where something like this cannot simply be brushed under the carpet. But there is a level of fearlessness at the company level. Maybe that something like this can happen. It cannot be possible that those manufacturing these products are unaware of the potential ill effects of doing something like this, Dr. Trehan.
Like rightfully Dr. Bhardwaj has said, this has actually happened in some African countries, some products made in India and exported cough syrups. So we know that story. We know that this is something that is actually greed, or the greed for profit making, which can do something like this, which is actually totally against what you are actually, the field you are in. So I'm saying it is an absolute criminal act. It must be taken to task because so many lives were lost. So if it wasn't that this many lives got lost, if it was one or two or three, we maybe they would have gotten away with it. But it so happens that you latched on to the whole the tragedy. You have taken it to a conclusion that this was DEG, which was actually added on in large quantities. I mean, this is, there are no words to even describe the heinousness of doing something like this.
Yeah.
Because the children are going to get it, and it's the children whose lives are going to be wiped out, extinguished.
Correct. Yeah. Dr. Bharadwaj, one final question, and if I have more time, I'll come back to you, Dr. Trehan, is you're a pediatrician, you're a practicing doctor, and, given how viral, I hate to use that word in this context, but how viral this story is, it is on everybody's WhatsApp group, everyone is aware of this, scary story. Are parents asking you about it when they bring their children to you? What is safe, what is not safe? Can I give cough syrup to my child? What do you tell them, ma'am?
So, first thing, what helped my case is I myself prescribe a lot less medicine. So, it is usually the other way around that I'm telling them, please don't push me into writing medicines. But having said that, yes, a lot of parents are messaging me, is this cough syrup safe? If this is safe. So, we doctors have been trained over years to know the safety and efficacy of a particular drug. So such news which comes and a doctor has written it, it creates another level panic and
Yeah.
a breach in trust between doctors and parents or patients.
Yeah.
So that should not be the case. It is a very good narrative that we have taken up, that cough syrups should anyways should not be given too much to the kids. They really don't need it 90% of the times, but what 5 to 10% of the kids might need, they would be given, but in a particular way, in a particular dosage for a particular number of days, and then under a doctor supervision. So do not lose trust in your doctors. They are there to help you out at each
Indeed.
and every step. If a bottle has something which it is not supposed to have, how can a doctor predict it?
Correct.
Or probably know what was there inside. Yes, one thing which I think, if I have this platform, some my colleagues are seeing me and would want an advice from me, would be more vocal, counsel more when you are treating your patients. Your 1 or 2 lines extra, or probably 1 or 2 minutes extra in OPD, is going to take your relationship in way ahead. Only
Absolutely.
medicines don't treat kids or adults for that matter. What words
I'm
you are using, what explanation you give with medicines, they'll trust you with that.
I think
So,
these are very, very extremely important words that the both of you, Dr. Trehan and Dr. Bharadwaj, have left us with. And coming from the both of you, people will listen and be able to understand very clearly how to process this story. It is already so difficult to digest all this terrible, terrible loss of life and such young life. But understanding that we need to all work together in some way, perhaps, to make sure it doesn't happen again is, in many ways, even more important. I thank the both of you for your time here on India Matters. Thank you, Dr. Bharadwaj. Thank you, Dr. Trehan. And I remind you once again, viewer, that it is 25 children of families in a part of India that is not metropolitan, a part of India that is not the big cities. Chhindwara, a district in Madhya Pradesh you don't hear very often unless it is election time, and in Rajasthan as well. On NDTV, we are visiting, and this is my commitment to you, all of those 25 families. We will be talking to all of them, just like you heard Syed Bhai and his little baby girl, Serish Fatima, whose story was just 7 months old when life was taken away from her. The Cough of Death campaign here on NDTV will continue until heads roll, until justice is served, and until there is a public assurance that something like this can never happen again. The news continues on the other side.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
वॉल्यूम कम करेंगे? आपका पार्सल फिर से हमारे घर पे आया है।
कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में।
माँ भी हमेशा पीमाक मस्टर्ड ऑयल में ही खाना बनाती थी। ये आपके लिए।
मैंने कहा था कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में।
P-Mark, the mustard specialist since 1933.
In Bihar, बहुत politics है. The year's election super final. Can Jai Viru storm the palace? Or will Bihar double engine defend? Fierce fight, electric election. Biggest team, biggest coverage. Battleground Bihar on NDTV 24/7.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
Across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. And now, Aditya Rajkol begins a new chapter at NDTV.
Actually, I'm taking off because the stories I cover don't sit still. To bring the world to India and to take India to the world, I need to be where action is.
Aditya Rajkol, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network.
वॉल्यूम कम करेंगे? आपका पार्सल फिर से हमारे घर पे आया है।
कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में।
माँ भी हमेशा P-Mark मस्टर्ड ऑयल में ही खाना बनाती थी। ये आपके लिए।
मैंने कहा था कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में।
P-Mark, the mustard specialist since 1933.
Vanakkam Chamalgaru. Edge Pro, most stunning true color pro grade camera. Motorola Edge 60 Pro. Grab Motorola Edge 60 Pro today.
Hello and welcome to Left, Right and Centre. I'm Vishnu Shom. On the programme tonight, the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer landed in Mumbai today for a crucial two-day visit fortifying the India-UK Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. Now, following the landmark Free Trade Agreement and Vision Document 2035, which was signed earlier, Starmer's talks with Prime Minister Modi will aim to double bilateral trade by 2030, capitalising on the Free Trade Agreement's 99.1% tariff-free lines. Now, the visit will highlight the Technology Security Initiative, advancing AI, quantum tech, green hydrogen, also innovation. India may also raise concerns over Khalistani activities in the UK, seeking stronger action against separate